Hello and welcome back. This is Christoph Clermont again. And now we want to look at the repeat because we have covered a lot of the other items here. And in all the tutorials before, we were just dealing with data from the campaign database and some locally created variables. But we were always playing on the root level. And now I want to show you how to work with data relations. And in this tutorial, I will illustrate how to show a list of records, how to search these records, how to page through the records, and also how to add and remove records. So all this we will do in approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and I can promise you we will not write a single line of code for that. So let's start. Let's put the base in here and let's take the repeater. So when you take the repeater in here, you see, please select the data relation. You can do that by scrolling down to the data group and then look for the relation. So we don't have a relation here. Going back to our database tab, I go to the event session. The event session is a table which is automatically created by the event selector item. So when you drag an event selector item in any of your campaigns in the account, you will have that table. So I will use this table for the tutorial so you can easily follow. We don't see that table in our campaign, and that's because in the campaigns here we have to mark all the campaigns where this item actually is, or where this table actually is available. So let me check the order here. Go back to my design, select the repeater again, and if we go to data, we will see the event sessions here. To see something, let's put a text in here. And immediately we see the caption, but just once, because we are not in the data mode. When I click on the data mode, I will see it will repeat as many entries as we have in the list of event sessions, which are not too many, but will be okay for now. To display something from the table, I can go here and press Ctrl Space again. And now I don't see the campaign variables here. I'm actually seeing the variables or the fields from my event database. So put the title in here, will show me the title. You also have available the campaign fields, which are down the list, and you find them under the root namespace. So first name, email, last name, that's all from the campaign. So you can also use these ones, but the level where we are right now is definitely the data relation itself. The repeater automatically spans a table. So it's the same like using the table item, it's kind of built in. So you have all the settings here. So we got 3 columns for tablet, 2 for mobile, and we can just leave it like it is. Let me just take another field in here and put this field to column auto, so it goes to the next column. And let's have the amount of seats. That looks good. So now we got all our sessions in that list, and we see the seats. That's good. So when I turn off the data preview again, I only see the first record. That's important to have in mind, that the data preview actually enables to load the full list. When I'm, let me just put a little bit margin on top and bottom here, so that looks, we can actually make that a little bit nicer. So when having data, one of the obvious problems that occurs is that this data is not just what I have here, kind of 8 records, but if it's like a lot of records, you can't load and show them all at once. So we got multiple ways to deal with that. One way would be to add a search. So let me put another table in here, and the search needs, let's say, a caption, because we want to search. So let's say search. And what we need as well is a field where we can type in what we want to search. So let's take an input field. This input field will be a local variable, a new variable, and the name will be search, which is actually the default name here, so we can just leave it. Then we need a button to actually search. So let's put the button in here, and let's put the button to auto as well, so it appears in the third column. And now let's have a look at the actions of a button. So we already covered the first 3 in the other tutorials, but there are more. So Down here we see all the data relation activities, like for example search. So click on search, and then it says please select the elevation field in the search field. Of course, we need to specify where we want to search. So in the data relation, we select the events data relation, and we don't have a field here. Again, just one time deselect, select again, and you will get the list of fields. So title, we can leave contains as an operator, and the search field then should be search. So let's do that, and let's search for knife, search. Okay, we got it. It's hone your knife skills. It's the only item which matches that search. We can also just search for K, and we will get definitely two entries here. We can also look which has an A. So that works pretty well. So this is now showing me the search. Another thing is also when I want to remove the search, I just type in blank and search. Another thing is that when I want to page that, so I have, let's say I have 1,000 entries and even the search returns 500, so I can't show them all at once. What I need to do is I actually need to add some paging. To understand paging, we have to understand a couple of helper variables which are available. So let's put a text in here and let's display on which page we are. So what we can do is we can go to the caption and press Ctrl Shift, and then we go to root, and we see that R underscore things. And for each relation you're using in an advanced data app, and it's not limited to one, it can be multiple, you will get these helpers. And this helpers show you a lot of nice things here, like my current page, my max page, and my per page value. So, and I also got a record count here, which shows me the all over record count of the relation, which could be very helpful. People using version 7 are might familiar with most of these variables. These are the essential thing you need if you're dealing with lists. So let's say I am on the current page, so let's make that a little bit more readable. Let's say page, and then we go current page, and then we have to show how many pages we have. So off, and then let's go for dollar root and go for max page. So this shows us that we are on page 1 of 1, which is obvious. We got 8 entries and they're all fitting to our list. So how can we limit the amount of pages which are shown in at once? So let's put another caption in here. Let's put that to auto, and then we go to pages, and let's put an input field in here. This input field now, I will actually link just to the not to the current page, but to the per page field of the event sessions, which shows me now that we are at 50 pages. When I go and remove that to, for example, 2, it automatically shows me only 3. So now we are page 1 of 3, which is which actually gives us the problem now that how can we go to page number 2 of 3? And even there, we got some nice button actions for that. So we can put another button in here. Let's say we put this button to column 1, and then the on-click action should be the previous page, which automatically puts a caption to that less than icon. And we could add, and we have, of course, we have to select the data relation here. And we take another button, and for that button, we go for next page, and we select the event sessions as well. So going back to here and just say only 2 items. So now I'm actually be able to walk through my pages in that grid. So we can search now. Of course, when I search now for things with a K, search, I only have page 1 of 1 because we're displaying 2 records per page, and the search only returns 2 records. If we want to see how many records we have, we can have another text field in here and just put this into auto, and then we can say, let's say records, and then we go for event session, record count. So that shows us our 8 records. If we search again, it goes down to 2. If we have only 2 per page, we see page 1 of 1. If we have only 1 per page, we actually can go through the pages. So it's extremely easy to build these things, and it really loads data from the server whenever you do something. So this is not like reloading 1,000 records and have them in the client. That's pretty fast. It's really dynamic loading of data when this is needed. So now we have search, we have paging. Let's have a look about deleting and adding records. If we want to add a record, we need, again, let's put a table here. So we got some layout. Oops. So let's just put this there. And so let's say we want to add a record. Again, first what we need is a text. And the text is, again, new title. Take a new input field, put it here, because we want to enter a new title which we are adding to the database. So we go for a variable, and we get an error because the search name is now already in use. So we call this new title, and we need a button. And this button should be actually adding a record. So we select add record from the list, and when we do so, we have to select the data relation again, because we need to specify from which data relation we want to add something. And then we also put this to auto here, so we got a little better design. And then we see a group, new record values, that just appears when the mode of click is set to add record. Here we can actually add fields. So let's say we want to have the title, and then we can specify if we want to have a fixed text, a number, a boolean. In that case, we take some JavaScript, and it's not real JavaScript. It's the same binding expression which we're using all the time. So we simply type in search. That's what we want to write to the database. And actually, I want to add another thing here. I want to say the field seeds. So I already would like to have an initial value for seeds. And number, that's a number now, and I say 20 seeds. That would be absolutely good for start. So let's try it. My first add new record. Oops, we don't get the name here. So let's have a look what my mistake was. Oh yeah, I put search as a value, and it should be not search, but new title. Again, my first. So add new record, we got my first. And we got the empty one on top here. So which actually brings up the next question, how we can delete an existing record. You guessed it already, it's a button. So let me just put a button in here. And this button, we set the action to delete record. We go and we got the caption here, and we don't have to specify the event relation here because now we are inside the event relation. So we're inside the repeater. So the delete button automatically will know which kind of data to delete. Let's put this to auto as well, so it looks better. So now we can press delete, and we actually get rid of the first entry, and we can also get rid of the other ones we have created, which is not a problem because we can create it again. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. I think we covered a lot. We built a complete interface here which deals with the data relation. We can search, we can page, we can browse through entries, we can add entries, we can delete entries. So thanks so much for listening, and hopefully see you in the next tutorial.